We're live.
Oh, where's the music? Ollie, where's the video? Where's it gone? Where's my big intro? Where's the fanfare of trumpets? Da, 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 da. And all this tune, it's gone.
That comes after your intro.
Welcome to Full-Time Sports Network, where we're going to look back with pure excitement. We're still salivating like Pavlov dogs over the greatest show on earth that lived up to all the hype. Probably, for me, the finest football match I've ever seen. And then a little look forward to the Premier League and a bit of Gareth Southgate. Go, Ollie!
Never give up on us. Now we're on the road to Europe. Right now, all our dreams can be made. And we'll be kings of football again. England! England!
Yes, here we are. This is the Mullet Show on Full-Time Sports Network. That was his first intro. There, well done, Ian. It was good. You were waiting for a bit. You were a bit confused, but you got there in the end.
I was looking for the video. I was going to get sparked up by the music.
The intro always comes before the video.
Okay.
But don't worry, next week we'll go again, and we can
Take
test
two.
it again. But it was still very good.
Take two.
So just a word from our sponsors. You ever see these guys out and about? They're probably doing some global mapping surveys. They're the sponsors of this great show. So if you ever, find yourself needing some architectural needs, they do all of the great things, such as 3D laser scanning, topographic surveys. The link is in the description. It's going to be going along the bottom. So if that's something you want to do, then you get involved in that. We are also sponsored by Rave Energy Drinks. It's powered energy formula. It's mixed with water, so it's a healthy choice. You can get 10% off these energy drinks by putting FTSN22 for a 10% discount or scanning the code on your screen now. Thank you to our amazing sponsors for sponsoring the show. It means we can keep bantering and doing the stupid things that we do every week. So there's only one place to start. I mean, that World Cup final, it was one of the worst games of football I'd ever seen. What did you think of it?
Well, firstly, Merry Christmas, Ollie.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Often at Christmas, I'd say, all us guys like us rock up to church where we're not big Christians all year. And eventually our mums, etc., get us to come to church and convince us about singing carols and God and all those things. Well, it was a little bit
Especially
like
God.
that
God's
for the World
important.
Cup. It was a bit like that for the World Cup because you've got all these people out there, quite a lot of ladies, who aren't interested in football at all. They hate football, but suddenly it's like they come alive, like at Christmas, but for the World Cup. And for weeks and weeks, whether it's various people I know who don't like football, I've been saying, look, this is the greatest show on earth. This is the pinnacle of all football. This is why we go all geeky all the time about football. And there's always a danger when you big something up so much to all the other people who are doubters that it won't live up to its reputation. But bloody hell, it did.
It's certainly better than church, that's for sure. Because church is bloody boring. I hate church. I used to be an altar server, funnily enough, but those days are far gone. I only did that to make my mum happy. God rest her soul. Mum, still love you, but I'm not an altar server anymore. No, I would say I'm probably a sinner, but that makes me better. Last week, though, we wanted to talk about someone's mullet, and we didn't get it to show that was Baggio's mullet there.
I did say it was a ponytail. I think
it's like a mullet / ponytail / But that's a cool shirt. I'd like that shirt. And also, anyone who's been watching the show, we always start with Bubbles Bits on this lovely lady. Yes, she was a former Miss Croatia. I can't remember her name, but she goes by Crowdoll. Crowdoll.
Ivana.
Yeah, she was the highlight of the tournament for me and for many other people. She just kept getting pictures and snaps and just kept getting better and better. Although this one you sent to me, I didn't really kind of get this one.
Well, basically they got knocked out, didn't they? And I think that was a bit of a a middle finger to her as she had to leave the games.
Oh, of course. Now I get it.
Yeah.
There we go. Honestly, I'm not good at getting stuff anymore. So there we go. I forgot she was
Before
Croatian.
Messi and after Messi.
And then there was Messi with his Player of the Match trophy, which indeed was a little model of her.
Yeah.
But just one more, just to leave the Mullet Shows World Cup edition in good faith. There you go. I actually think that was my favourite. That's
Yeah, I think
goodbye, Crow Doll. We will
Great
be
show.
getting her on the show at some point, especially if she's watching, and she can wear one of those great outfits. So obviously Argentina beat France, which we all wanted to happen. This, I think, out of all the pictures you sent me, this was definitely my favourite.
I wasn't sure what that was all about because he kind of got the golden glove. And I mean, he was obviously on one from all those penalties and going completely crazy. But yes, you can keep your Gary Linekers and your Gary Nevilles and all their political statements. When it comes to political statements, that's about as good as it gets.
I love the guy in the background who's clearly not into those kind of things. It's
the humour bypass there.
What are you doing? Which was brilliant.
What
I did like this one.
What will his kids think of him when they look back on the World Cup? When Daddy won the World Cup, let's have a look at the picture of Daddy winning the World Cup.
He looks like a woodpecker or something. He's brilliant. I love him. He's great, except when he plays against Arsenal. Today, football won. What I liked about, look, there he is in the background. He's mental. There he is.
He's mad. I was going to say mad as a box of frogs, but that's not the phrase for that game.
No, but you know what annoyed me about this is like Messi's got that robe on, right? Why did he have to wear the robe? And B,
he didn't have to wear it.
It was kind of see-through.
No, yeah, it was the old. What it was that is
like
a
women's lingerie.
No, it does look a bit handsome, as you're right. But in fact, it's a robe that represents royalty in Kuwait. And only that robe has never been given to anyone other than the royal family to wear in Kuwait before. So it was like an inauguration of someone who's like a god, a royal. It was the biggest honor that they could possibly give Lionel Messi.
Yeah, I wouldn't have worn it. I'd have get this shit off me. I don't want to wear that shit. Did you tell me about this before?
You usually wear Ann Summers gear. It's never stopped you in the past.
To be fair, I do like a see-through number. Yeah. One that shows off my nipples is my favourite.
The negligee mullet.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, since I've cut off my mullet, I do feel like I've lost my power. I didn't really understand this one. I don't know if this is a Man City one. I guess I didn't really know. Who is that guy?
I love that picture. That's Russell Grant, isn't it? The old astrologer. And someone's obviously mocked it up as looking a bit like Diego Maradona. I think that's... You have to be a certain age to remember Russell Grant, but I think that's a real funny picture.
Is he wearing a Man City top there, though?
No, it does look like an old Man City away top, but it's not. I think it's Argentina.
And he was an astrologer.
Napoli. Yeah, he was an astrologer.
I don't think I would believe in his astrology. He doesn't look like an astrologer to me. And then here we go. I got this one, to be fair. I got this one.
What is it with Roy Keane's facial hair that he has to somehow make some kind of weird beardy statement every time? So this time he's going for he's shaved the big beard off and gone for a goatee. Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, it looks quite cool, but that's not his hair, is it?
No, that's the Billy Connolly look.
So I like it. It's kind of like Musketeer D'Artagnan-esque. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Porthos, Aramis, and whoever the other third Musketeer was.
You didn't mention D'Artagnan, but who's...
Yeah, no, D'Artagnan. Well, technically, D'Artagnan wasn't one of the three Musketeers.
Oh, you get technical now. We're getting into our literature. This has never happened on the show.
I think that book was even D'Artagnan and the three Musketeers.
The four. You still need to go right. The four Moses. Here we go. Adam's back. There was definitely a picture of Blue Moon from his playing days.
Yeah.
There we go. We were talking about Blue Moon before.
Harry Maguire's body double.
So, would you say then, looking back on the final, it was the best World Cup final ever?
Yes.
Should we go through the game as as it kind of went, because it might just map out the story. There we go, Adam.
We could map out the topography of the game because
yeah, and then we can follow it with the lasers and the show.
Yeah.
So I mean,
start before the game because firstly there was all this hype about being, was Lionel Messi the GOAT? All this debate, and he's possibly his last World Cup, or no, almost certainly his last World Cup. 20 years, the GOAT. There he is. I like that picture.
Just in case you don't know, that's Messi holding a goat, and GOAT stands for greatest of all time. There we go.
That's a nice bit.
Really cute. That's a really cute goat. That is.
Yeah. So that was all the hype versus obviously Mbappe. Mbappe is viewed by many as the next carrying the baton of the GOAT. When you kind of hand it over in a relay race.
Yeah, because to be fair, I don't think he's been that good for the last few years, old Messi. But it was kind of the swan song that we all wanted, and he did turn it on. He did play well.
And it's for Adam, who's just put this comment in. Adam, it was the best World Cup of my lifetime as well. And my lifetime is, I think, just about twice your lifetime. So I'm going to endorse that.
You know what, though? It wasn't the best World Cup of my lifetime because England didn't win it. And it will only be the best World Cup of my lifetime until all Euros. I'll take the Euros until we actually win the bloody thing. And all I could think when I was watching that was thinking, we could have won this. We could have beat that. France in that first half were woeful.
Yeah,
really.
I miss my early morning listening to Laura and Ali McCoist.
Oh, we love Laura.
Well, we love Laura. But those two, to me, were the non-playing stars of the World Cup. All your Nevilles and your bloody Keanes and all that. But Laura and Ali McCoist, I just think they're brilliant, those two. They should be on doing Match of the Day and all the things. I love those two. I miss them in the morning. But it was all the hype, first of all, and all this drama about Messi and Mbappe. So that was the bit that came in. And before you went to the pub, what did you think of the before you got to the pub, the game?
Well, I was the first half at home, and I was just thinking, done, game over. Argentina will see this out. And then I got to the pub just as France scored their first goal. But I actually thought Argentina's football was pretty good. I like the guy who plays up front. He's Alvarez, is it? He plays for you guys.
Oh, yes, Julian Alvarez. He runs. I don't know how many miles he put in last night, but it was a lot. It was such a lot. And the guy Martinez, who's 21, who plays for Benfica in midfield, Fernandez. Fernandez from Benfica, 21. I mean, he was fantastic. The guy De Paul over on the right was great.
But the thing is, I don't think they'd played that well, all of those players, until that final. I'd seen, them play okay, some of them. I think Martinez, he was. I mean, to think that he couldn't even get
Fernandez. Yeah.
Huh?
Martinez.
The goalkeeper is Martinez.
Oh, yeah.
I think to think that he couldn't even get in the Arsenal team about 3 years ago, and now he's lifted the World Cup.
We'll come to the last bit, but everyone focuses on the goals and everything else. But and everyone will say that, that Gordon Banks save off Pele and things like that were the greatest saves of all time. But I tell you what, that save with his feet just before the end of extra time, that was something else. That was just. I mean, look at that, 120 minutes or whatever it was. I mean, that was good night Vienna if that had gone in. And,
good night Qatar.
I mean, Peter Schmeichel, who used to be famous at spreading himself across the goal, I mean, he must have looked at that and felt proud of goalkeeping skills. That was amazing.
Adam's saying, for Ollie, for entertainment purposes, it was an incredible festival of football. But I was watching and couldn't help but think it should have been us, yes. Also, I kind of didn't want to win the one where loads of people died in making it. You know what I mean? I kind of didn't want that to be the one that even won.
If we got to the final, though, wasn't it possibly just written in the stars? Wasn't it fate that Messi was going to lift the World Cup, regardless of who they were playing?
No.
Now I look back. It's like the story had been written, the drama. They lost the first game. How much more dramatic than that? And then they got better and better as a team. You know, that first half performance, and what it did bother me a lot. The commentators, I think I was watching bloody ITV. I don't know why. Probably just to get away from the BBC guys. But
why did you choose ITV? Never did.
Because it started earlier. It started at dead on 2:00, and BBC started afterwards, and then I just forgot what channel it was on. But they kept then saying when Argentina were just playing brilliant football, they kept going, oh, you know, that virus, it looks as though it's caught up with the French. I think they must be all ill and they've got a virus.
They were talking about the virus a lot, weren't they?
I just thought, you know, how what's the expression? Look at, you know, disingenuous. How disingenuous to a wonderful team performance by Argentina, where they were running like crazy, playing for each other, and the commentators wanted to blame it on a virus. Well, it wasn't much of a virus after about 70 minutes. Suddenly they miraculously, like Lazarus, rose from the dead. Virus? What virus? So, you know, those commentators should have apologized to the whole Argentinian nation for suggesting the French were ill.
Did you think the penalty then for Argentina? They got the penalty, didn't they, in the first half?
I think it possibly wasn't intentional, but he caught his ankle. You know,
I mean, he was having a mare. That lad on the right-hand side, was it Dombele?
Hernandez was at left back, so right back. Oh, I can't remember.
No, it was in.
No, Dembele got skinned down that side.
Dembele, yeah, he was the one that
cut inside.
He had a really bad game.
It probably, you know, he knew Di Maria is 35, 36-year-old. He's incredibly experienced. He knows exactly what he's doing. When he's just got ahead and he moves across the guy trying to tackle, he knows there's a good chance he'll get even the slightest ankles. You know, when your mates are playing stupid tricks on you after a few beers, it only takes the slightest touch for you to trip up, doesn't it?
I guess so. And
so it was a penalty. I felt there was no doubt. It was the slightest touch, but you only needed a slight touch at that pace.
I'm trying to remember their second goal. Was it a good move?
Yeah, that was the. I was jumping and I was doing cartwheels and backflips, the whole works on that. It started right in the Argentinian penalty area, and they passed it 5 or 6 times, and it ended up when Messi doing there was a stecco, there was a back heel, and it ended up at Di Maria who put it in. It was a fantastic team goal. What
about that McAllister guy? Is he part Scottish? Is he?
No, he's just got a Scottish name.
Apparently, his dad played with Maradona in the last time that I don't know. It was
I don't remember.
The last time they won it, his dad was in the team, played with Maradona.
I don't remember McAllister before.
That's what my driving instructor was telling me, and he knows a lot. So I mean, I could be wrong.
Just think, if he does make it back to Brighton to play on Wednesday night, he's away at Charlton. It's just a thought. You know, you go from the World Cup final to playing away at Charlton in the Caribou Cup. But I can't.
Hey, look, no, don't rinse Charlton. Great team. Silo, hello, good evening, gentlemen. Hello, mate. Hello. The Premier League is back, and I'm sure you're happy because Man United are not going to win it.
Burnley, company's going to see him off Wednesday night.
World Cup.
Humiliation at the
Errol, we want a Mullet / Man United agenda special, please. I think that would be good, don't you?
Yeah, a collaboration.
I know you hate Man United,
collaboration,
more than anything. And I mean, I don't mind.
To Errol, Vinny's gonna get you. Vinny's gonna get you. Wednesday night, Burnley are coming.
So up until that second, that first France goal, did you think they were going to get back into it?
No, they didn't look like it at all. They were second to everything. There was nothing.
Was that a penalty, or did they score? Yeah, they got a penalty first.
Yeah, it was a penalty.
Or was their third goal a penalty?
No, yes, that was a penalty as well. But what happened was
they got 2 penalties.
Remember, Otamendi is 37 years old. We'll come back to him in a minute. Yeah, so
he's not 37.
Yeah, he is. He played for. He left City when he was 32. And that was 5-6 seasons ago. So Nicolas Otamendi is there, and he just got caught out, and it was a foul, and it was a penalty. And the only thing I could think about was when Messi scored his penalty and Mbappe scored his penalty. I thought, why couldn't Harry Maguire have scored ours? And when Mbappe
Harry
hit
Maguire. Harry Kane.
I mean, Harry Kane. Why couldn't
Maguire
Harry
would probably had a better chance.
Yeah, why couldn't Harry Kane have just hit ours? When Maradona
Smash
stepped
it down the
forward
middle.
for the penalties at the end, so that was his second penalty kick of the night, and Mbappe, I think, did he have a third penalty kick at that? And I just thought, well, they can do it 2 or 3 times in succession. Why consecutive? Why couldn't Harry Kane do that? That's all I thought.
Look, it's over. The dream is over. Harry Kane.
But yes, it was a penalty. So that was 2-1. And literally 2 minutes later, there was that wonderful move. And when Mbappe hit
that was a nice move. That was beautiful football.
You know what? It was Zidane-esque, wasn't it?
It was just a nice team. It was a lot like the Argentina one. In the second one, the second goal they scored, I can't remember. Like they're all merging into one, but it was a lovely team goal. I like moves like that. Yeah, Adam is saying, don't forget Global Mapping Service will be offering a shuttle service to the Emirates on Boxing Day at only 350 quid an hour.
He's just desperate to get people in the back of that white van, isn't he? He'll take
and he said he'll look after your wives for you.
He's not the sort of chap to get in the back of a white van with.
No, but that's his white van, though.
I know. Would you get in the back of a white van with Adam?
I would. I'd pay 350 quid. So 2-2, France were all over him. It looked like it was going France's way, and then
I thought Argentina.
And then Messi gets the goal again, which was another good goal.
Before that, France had 10 minutes or so, or maybe even 15 after their second goal. Argentina were on the ropes for 15 minutes when I thought France should have put them to bed at that stage, finished it off because they had all the energy. They had all the substitutes were all firing well. They had 15 minutes before the game finished, and I thought France could have finished Argentina off then and gone for the jugular.
That was their chance. If they were going to do it, then they did that then. And then, but I didn't see Argentina getting that goal, and then they did. It's funny though because you could see it was clearly over the line.
Yeah. There was no doubt, no doubt of a doubt.
Yeah.
It was as clear as that one over the line that Frank Lampard scored against the Germans in the World Cup years ago. We weren't given
let's not even go there. And then I thought that's it, game over. And what was that? Otamendi who got the handball for their third?
No. That was someone else. But
what's he doing? Sticking his arm out like that?
Well, he turned away from the ball. So
but his arm's like right out there. What are you doing?
It wasn't that right out there.
It was
I don't really understand the handball rules anymore. They're given, they're not given. He clearly wasn't looking for his arm. I thought he was unlucky. But
I think that was just stupidity. But they got the penalty, stuck it away, and then it went to penalties. And then, I mean, do you think Lloris was a bit crap?
So Nicolas Otamendi took their third penalty for Argentina. Yeah? This is a 37-year-old guy who has been on the pitch at that stage for 90 and 30. So that's 120 plus all those extra time, about 135 minutes, yeah? He's done that as a 37-year-old. And Messi at 35 or 36. So 2 players there who've run for 140, 150 minutes. And Messi puts the first one away and Otamendi puts the third one.
Messi, that was close. That was close. He saved it.
Dybala's nearly bloody. When he put it down the middle, I thought he'd cock that up. I have to say, I know I made that bonkers comment on the banter group that said, did Spurs lose the World Cup? But Lloris, I mean, I didn't think any of those penalties were particularly good at all. And yet somehow he didn't save any of them. He didn't even get anywhere near 3 or 4 very weak penalties.
There was a few where he went, but he's not the tallest, is he?
No, he didn't have to. He just has to be he just has to be moderately intelligent.
He did have a good game. But then, like you said, the footballing gods won. And it was, I think we're going to go on to Messi is a GOAT. And this is just a little homage to old Messi. That was him. When was that one at the top?
I don't know. I think that's when they lost.
Was 8 years ago, maybe? 8 years?
No, longer. I think it's probably 12 years ago.
That was him, obviously, when he lost that year. Who did they lose to that year? I think they lost to Germany. I can't remember.
I think they lost to Germany as well.
And yeah, it was just beautiful that, he should go on.
I wasn't supporting a team. I was supporting a player who's just given me incredible pleasure over 20 years. And I know he's been in the dressing room while I've sung some pretty outrageous songs about the Falklands. But apart from that, he seems a wonderful family guy. He's really wholesome. He picks himself up after getting terrible tackles. I think he's a role model for every player. And basically, he's the same height and build as me. And yet the game is now full of massive athletes. And yet the GOAT can be an unassuming guy of 5'6", 5'7" tall, of average build.
And do you think that's it for him now? That's like, he'll just hang up his boots. He'll just be like, yeah, I'm chill. I mean,
and listen to Alan Shearer talking about the, when he turned 35, and he just said it just all fell. Shearer was saying at that age that he was the same as Messi, it just all fell away. He just couldn't do it anymore. So credit to him for getting up for one last time. And him and Otamendi were on that pitch for what are they working out, 140 minutes with all the extra time and all the stuff. It's amazing.
They have, to be fair though, between them, they are born winners. I mean, they've won everything. So sometimes mentality can just pull it through. So, homage to Messi, you are the GOAT. No, I don't really get the GOAT thing. I know it goes the greatest of all time, but maybe you could use a more attractive animal. Although I love goats. They're beautiful. They're lovely.
We've got a donkey in our England team, so it's only fair they've got a goat.
Yeah. I just don't think goat is the best animal. More like a lion or maybe a panther or something strong and like mean, But hey,
he's a lion, the king of the jungle.
He is the GOAT. Maybe he owns a few goats. I've heard he's got his own goat farm. There we go. So Southgate remains. It is confirmed that he will be the manager for the next Euros. I personally think it's a good decision.
I think it's a good decision.
Give him one last throw of the dice, and let's hope.
It's a good decision because I think people get confused between international management and club management. And Deschamps is a good example of that. He hadn't really been a big-time club manager before. But what Deschamps has is a very calm personality. He handles the press well, the clubs well. And the lion's share of the job really is to get all those young England players, shield them from the press, shield them from the... Because, you've had England managers who pissed off Premier League managers and you've got, our players aren't turning up and he's sick. No, he's not sick. Well, Southgate's done a brilliant job at getting all the Premier League managers on side to support the England team and the press. And we went out in the quarterfinals and not even on our banter group or not even in the press, no one's hurling abuse at the players. No one was going crazy. And I think Gareth Southgate's got a lot to be praised for that, to his protection. I don't think he is strategically the best manager at all. And I would say that what the England Association should look at doing is to bring in a bit of a wise old manager on his shoulder for those tactical decisions, those strategic decisions. I'm not saying it's me by any means, but I did say before that quarter-final, I wanted to see England play three at the back to manage so that we could attack the French down the two flanks with a lot more authority. And, with Walker being the right-hand centre-back and then maybe Trippier or Alexander-Arnold outside him. And I wish we had done that. And perhaps someone else advising Gareth Southgate might have said, made him a little bit more tactically aware. I thought his substitutions in that game were too late, too negative. And I think he needs a wise old coach on his shoulder.
That's not going to happen, though. They're not going to bring someone in to help him out, are they?
To support him with those. Well, I'd question who's the assistant manager is. Oh, God, I can't remember who's called. Someone will help us out. But I don't think he's getting enough good advice from his assistant manager. I think he needs someone stronger in that role.
Do you think we're going to win the Euros?
I think we've got a team that can win the Euros, but I have to say, when I look at that French team, that will grow and grow. When you look at Oh, the two Real Madrid lads in midfield, Tuchemani and who's the other guy?
Yeah, the guy with the long hair, the braids.
Come back to me in a minute. But I mean, when you look at those two in midfield, and Mbappe will get better and better. The French team is darn good. You know, they've got a good chance of
Darn tootin' good, but we nearly beat them.
But we didn't.
We nearly did, though.
Yeah, but we didn't. I know, and I think they will still give us a run for the money. But at the same time, I think England have got a good chance at the Euros. Like I said in this World Cup, because I can't think of another decent team out there in Europe. The Germans will take major restructures to get anywhere near.
Yeah, but it's in Germany, isn't it? So Germany might.
Yeah, they haven't got it. They haven't got the players to do it. I really don't believe the Germans could do it. Spain is in a period of transition. The only Portugal, I think they showed promise. I think they'll always be difficult to contend with, but France will be the team to beat. But there's no reason why England can't win the Euros. But I would like a little bit more, just a wise old figure on.
I will be going, so there's going to be live in Germany. We're going to do it. You going to come?
I'd love to, actually. Yeah, it'd be cracking if we can go.
I mean, I don't even care if we don't have tickets. We're just going to go.
Yeah,
we'll go to Germany in a van.
Go and watch it in the beer kellers.
Exactly, it's going to be beautiful. Anyway, so last overriding thought, one thing to sum up the World Cup for you.
The greatest show on earth. It lived up to every bit of hype, and I would like to see politics completely disappear out of football and just leave it to football. I didn't like all the righteous, the BBC didn't do the opening ceremony afterwards, and I just think just stay out of it. Just stay out of it. You're always going to have a gripe with a country, whether you're Russia or you go back to America. Some people have got massive gripes about America. You know what went on about in the elections. And
people have always got beef. People
have got beef about America, but keep it out. There'll always be beef about a country. The BBC needs to behave itself, grow up, and people need to just focus on football.
My final thought is, it's not the greatest show on earth, because the greatest show on earth is a thing that's called the Premier League. Okay, it's the best league in the world. It's got the best teams in the world, and it's the best football in the world. And finally, it is back.
But you wouldn't be saying that if you were only halfway down the league.
Huh?
You wouldn't be saying that if you were outside the top 6.
I don't care. It's the best. It's just better than anything.
Yeah, I agree.
And I miss it when it goes away. No, I might be biased.
Who've Arsenal got on Boxing Day? Who's your first game?
West Ham. So a tough one.
At home or away?
At home. I'll be there. So
City are away at Leeds United on Wednesday.
Okay, so let's talk top, and then I want to do a bit of top 4, and then we're going to do a bit of relegation. So we're top by 5 points. A lot of people saying we're going to fall away now and it's going to be dead easy, and you'll probably have overtaken us quite quickly. So Leeds, what kind of side do you think you'll start with against Leeds? Like, who do you think?
When you look at that Leeds team, they'll have all their players back. They've had all their players back for some time, and they will be ready to go. A bit like Burnley against United on Wednesday, where I'm predicting a bit of an upset.
No, we don't care about the Carabao Cup.
Leeds are a massively pressing team as well, which City don't like at Newcastle. I'm worried about that.
But you'll have a fully fit Haaland. The Terminator is back.
Yeah, but someone's got to put the bullets in his gun. But De Bruyne looks okay. There was a friendly.
He doesn't play good for Belgium. He might as well play well for you.
Yeah, and he immediately came back for a friendly in Spain, and City won 2-0, and De Bruyne scored the first goal, and Haaland scored the second. So
what do you think the score's going to be?
I'm worried about away at Leeds. I'm really worried about that, because I think Leeds will be very determined to put their season right. I think Arsenal should beat West Ham at home.
What do you think? What's your score going to be?
West Ham's key midfielder was playing with Argentina, wasn't he?
West Ham's always a tough one though, because
Paredes.
West Ham was one of were the first team to ever beat us in the Emirates.
You're at home. You should be fine.
I know, but no Jesus. Back on February the 25th, so we can make it through then.
Yeah, be interesting. Be interesting if Arsenal decide to dip into the transfer market.
We have to, but not for a striker. I think we'll go in for a few midfielders. Big up, guys! Premier League's back. Yes, Antti, it's back, and we are bigger and better than ever. So yeah, what's the score, mate? I want a prediction for your score. For
I'm worried. I think City will get held to a 1. I think City will get held to a 1-1 draw.
Oh, City draw! Look at that.
Yeah.
City draw. I mean, I think you will win, but I don't think it will be easy. So I'm going City win. City draw. Wow, I did not see you.
I'm worried about it purely because the amount of time Leeds have had their players back. The Ellen Road. Imagine the Ellen Road crowd having not had a football match, after Christmas, that would be riotous.
Right, it will be. But say that you get 1 goal and you've got Haaland and De Bruyne. They're not that. They're beatable. I mean, I don't know how we beat them this season, but they should have beaten us. So. Prediction for Arsenal, West Ham then?
I think Arsenal win that probably 2-0.
Arsenal. I'm going Arsenal.
But David Moyes will last the season there, actually.
Huh?
I'm not sure that David Moyes will last the season at West Ham.
Yeah, how are West Ham doing at the moment?
They can never seem to put the same 11 together. They've had quite a few injuries, and the players they've spent all the big money on haven't come through. And lads like Bowen last season, who was terrific, and Suchel, is it down that side? I mean, they're not as they were.
Cool. All right, let's go through the other fixtures. So, Brentford, Tottenham. I've gone for a Brentford win here. I think
I'm going to go for a Brentford win too.
I think 2-1 Brentford here.
Like Leeds, I think Brentford could be seriously up for it. I'm going for I think like 1-0, 2-1 to Brentford. I'm going for a Brentford win there.
So we're both going for Brentford. Do you think Spurs might have a tough time readapting? Sports Capital Munsey says, "Big up, lads! Big up, Munsey! We love you, bro."
I think Antonio Conte is an excellent manager. I just think there's still a crunch decision to be taken by Juventus.
Just in terms of Harry Kane's, obviously what happened to him. Romero's just won the World Cup.
If Harry Kane has had a little period of reflection, he'll think, I'm nearly 30 or I'm 30. I'm going to be 34 next time the World Cup comes around, so I'm going to be touch and go there. Probably still okay. I'm as far away from earning any silverware as I've ever been. I would have thought again it might cross his mind to go, but Daniel Levy ain't going to sell him. He's not going to sell him to United for less than 100 million, and United won't pay 100 million for him.
Do you think they will still make the top 4?
Spurs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking top 4, let's say, I think we're going to win the league and then you will come second.
Maybe,
who knows? Who do you think is going to come third?
I think United will.
I was thinking that because United are
a strong manager. I think their signings have been pretty good. I think post Ronaldo there'll be a bond, a brotherhood. I think United will get into third. I think Spurs fourth. I'm not certain that it's all going to be joy at Chelsea, no matter how much they spend.
So Man United have Forest, easy win there. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we'll smash them.
Chelsea have another easy game. They've got Bournemouth. That'd be an easy win for them, won't it?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So you reckon third Man United, and you reckon Chelsea fourth or
Spurs? I think Chelsea will finish fifth and Liverpool sixth. I still think there's a few wobbles to happen at Chelsea. I don't think all's quite well there. Again,
Palace,
you know what, Ollie?
Fulham.
Ask me again 2 or 3 weeks into January when transfers are made.
You can ask me again at the end of the season, but
it could revolve around some fairly spectacular transfers. Chelsea seems to have a bottomless pit of money.
Ronaldo incoming. Crystal Palace, Fulham. You're meant to be going to that game, aren't you?
Yeah, I am meant to be going to that game, but there's no trains. But I have a ticket. Palace will beat Fulham.
That's a 3:00 kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
I went Palace as well. I went Palace 2-0.
Yeah, I think that's sound.
But I reckon it could be a good game. Everton
Wolves, they might struggle at centre back. I think Guay and Anderson. I can't remember. One of them is not going to be fit, and that gives them a problem because they've only got 2 decent centre backs. If they bring Tompkins in to replace, they'll be vulnerable, particularly against Mitrovic. But I think Palace will have too much. I think it'll be 2-0 regardless.
So bit of a bottom of the table clash. See, I had to check the bottom of the table, and I couldn't believe it when I saw Wolves.
I think Wolves are going down. Low pedigree. He'll be on a decent sized contract at Wolves. He isn't associated with the agent who brings the Portuguese guys in. And he has a dodgy reputation in Spain. He's only done okay. He went to Real Madrid, did terribly. My Spanish friends don't think much of him, and I wonder whether he's suited to the Premier League. I think Wolves have got a problem. I think Southampton have got a big problem. I think those 2 teams are going to struggle, and then I'm not sure after that. What do you think?
I think Wolves will get out of it. I think they'll get out of it. What was I hear something? Yeah, we were talking about at work. I think we were talking about Led Zeppelin, and who's a Wolves fan? I think
Robert Plant.
Robert Plant's a Wolves fan.
Yes, he is. He's a Black Country boy.
Yeah, and he was the reason Lopetegui came in, because apparently Lopetegui's a massive Zeppelin fan. And so he had a word with him. No, I'm being serious.
Really?
100%. That's what I was told.
Could be, because I think he's been a director and certainly ambassador at the club. He's been heavily involved, so maybe, who knows?
Exactly.
Maybe they'll have a stairway to heaven, or
I think they'll get out of it. I think they're too good to go down. But hey, look, we've said that before. So you're going with an Everton win. I went with a draw.
Yeah. No, I think Everton will win. I think Everton have got spirit. I still think Frank Lampard's the man to keep them up. And boy, their new stadium's looking good.
Is it? Really, Leicester Newcastle. This is a good game.
Yeah. If there's a draw,
I've gone 3-1 Newcastle.
I think that could be a draw. I think Leicester were on form. Leicester were on form before the break. They'd started to put it together. They're at Leicester at home.
Yeah, but Newcastle are on a roll.
Yeah, no, they are, but still rate Rodgers. I think he's a canny manager. I think that'll be a draw.
Southampton, Brighton.
It's a weird one. My vote is Brighton will get an away win. But when you say who's going to finish in the top 4, the top 6, and I said quite a lot depends on the January transfer window. Who goes down will depend on injuries, because all those squads are very wafer thin. And with 5 substitutes now, when those bottom teams, when those Brightons, Southamptons of this world start to get a few injuries, then that's when bigger teams like Arsenal or City playing against them with a terrific substitutes bench and can bring 5 players on will beat them time and time again. The other thing we've got to consider is, will Chelsea plunder Brighton for what's he called? Trossard, because he's probably their best player, and there might be another couple of, and they've got Liverpool, I think, sniffing over Chauchegu, Saicedo in midfield. Brighton. Yeah, Brighton's also the sort of club that gets plundered in the January transfer window. So again, if some of those clubs get plundered in the January transfer window and they get some injuries, that could, Brighton could go down. They could free fall if Chelsea buy one of their best players and they get a couple of injuries.
Well, Brighton aren't that close to the bottom, though, are they?
Yeah, but a lot can happen in the space of 4-6 weeks.
So you're predicting Brighton to go down?
No, not necessarily. What I'm saying is
they're in seventh currently.
The team that goes down that will be a team that suffers from getting plundered by a bigger club and getting injuries. I think that's. You can see it. If you lose a player like Trossard right at the end of the January transfer window, or the other Caicedo or
Caicedo, is it?
Caicedo in the middle of at the end of the transfer window, you can't replace them. That's when you get in trouble.
So last one, Aston Villa, Liverpool.
I'd kind of say that's the same for Fulham as well. Let's say, I don't know, an Everton or a West Ham, someone with deeper part. A West Ham buys Mitrovic from Fulham. Yeah, then who's to say Fulham couldn't fall through that back down again?
No, Fulham's. Who knows? Who knows? Currently, it's Forest, Southampton, Wolves.
The one I haven't mentioned is Forest. I think Cooper's a very clever manager, and I think Forest will get out of it.
So, Aston Villa, Liverpool. Who's the manager at Aston Villa at the moment?
Your man, Unai Emery.
Unai.
Unai Emery.
Totally forgot about that.
I think Villa, it will be a draw, or Villa might get that. He's a very clever manager who's had a little bit of time to do all his research and time with his players. I think his second coming to the Premier League might be quite successful for Villa.
And there you go. That's our predictions for the weekend. We'll check those out and see how we go on the next show. That's the end of the show. Unless there is anything else you would like to add, Ian, before we go. Any other topics you'd like to speak about? In
the essence of Wayne's World for both of us, for Lionel Messi, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. You are the GOAT.
We're not worthy. We suck. I mean, and on that note, that has been the Mullet Show. Please like and subscribe if you have enjoyed. This is the Mullet Show on Full-Time Sports Network, sponsored by Global Mapping Surveys and Wraith Energy Drinks. The Premier League is back, baby, and we will be seeing if Arsenal can still be top of the tree come the new year. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be magical. It's going to be lovely, and we will be covering it all on the Mullet Show. Thank you very much, Ian.
Merry Christmas, Ollie.
Merry Christmas. It's my birthday on Christmas Eve as well.
It's my birthday on the 22nd when I go to watch City Liverpool.
There, you wonder why we get on so well. There we go.
So you're a Capricorn for definite, yeah?
Capricorn, yeah.
And I'm a Capricorn just about too as well. So we're both.
There we go. But you are thoroughly more successful. You're a better man than I am.
You're better looking.
Flattery always works, but
right.
Hey, one thing for sure, we'll always be back on the show every week. Thank you very much for watching. This has been the Mullet Show. Good night.
England!